Let's talk peanut versus foam roller. So the problem, get over Billy. The shoulder blades are in the way. The foam roller is just gonna get the surface. It's hard to get in the groove of the spine here. These muscles, these multifidus muscles, these transversal spinalis muscles run all the way up to the skull. There's a deep groove of muscles there called the posterior chain. Now their job is to pull down. The trap pulls up. So the trap runs from the back of the skull too. Tops of the shoulders, does come down into the low thoracic spine. So what I see is people aren't looking like Billy here, where ear, shoulder, hip, and heel are in a straight line. What happens is it pulls the back of the skull down. It's compressing all these joints, these facet joints in the neck. And nobody's looking up at the ceiling all day, so we tend to pull our hips forward. So you see a lot of this pelvic sway with the rounding of the upper traps. So you end up here to level that out. The head's getting pulled here, we get that rounding, especially when you're sitting, right? And up there, instantly playing video games, reading a book, on your phone. It's rounding. Bring your center of gravity forward. So foundation training, talking about getting the foundation underneath you, the hips underneath you, so you can press everything taller. Because yes, a lot of this, we focus too much here, not on strengthening the legs, but this tightness can rob ability of your lats, ability of your hip flexors to engage, push the ground away. So your traps end up doing the lifting, and they end up doing the breathing, which is the most repetitive thing you do all day is breathing. So that's what's happening there. So we want to, especially through here, where a lot of people get upper thoracic rounding. You get that big bump on the back of our head. Sometimes it's more visible than others, depending on what stage you're in. A lot of people have a lot of rounding, they don't see it. People will be like, oh, you have great posture. What's your chiropractor talking about? They're not noticing that the hips are 2 to 3 inches forward to your shoulders. So get the hair out of the way here. So yeah, maybe this is a great tool to start with. It's still gonna get your upper traps a little bit. Maybe a good tool to warm up with. But this, we want it right on the groove. So it's 2 lacrosse balls. Some people duct tape these together. I just put them in a sock, and a long sock, and brought it back around, tied both ends. So they've got some movement on each other, but mostly they're gonna stay together. And the spine is gonna fit right in that groove. And these lacrosse balls are gonna roll right in those upper traps, right in that upper part of that posterior chain. It's gonna get joint mobility too. Trying to get thoracic mobility. It means we're breaking up restriction. We get that rounding in the spine. Why does the spine get stiff? Because you get old? No. It's because those muscles are so tight. The joints are responding by, ah! Why? Why do they do that? To protect the nerves coming out of those regions. Tingling your hands, weakness, reading pain, that's all that area. It's not just your hands though. That area is your lungs, your heart, a lot of important things. A lot of nerves, not just going to your hands there, going to a lot of other organ systems. That's the same throughout the rest of the spine. So yes, we want to get pressure off of it. So yeah, be easy on this, it's a little rough. Not sure what angle I want to go for here yet. Maybe from the side. So, use your foam roller if you don't have one of these, but maybe look for some lacrosse balls or tennis balls is probably a nicer way to do this at the start. But eventually getting up to something a little heavier. That's what I like about the sock, is it actually gives you a little bit of a cushion. I kind of start here in the neck. Back up this bit. I'm gonna roll. And we're driving down. Like I said, the traps are pulling up. So we want to drive downwards. So base of the neck. I feel that right in the grooves. I'm gonna do a lift with the hands and a bridge, and it's immediately rolling, and my hair is getting stuck. Get the hair out of the way. Roll right along those grooves of the spine. And you're not going very far, just maybe bottom of the shoulder blades. We'll set up again. Right there, base of the neck. So I can tuck the hair into the hat. Hands overhead. Reach, roll. Hopefully I'm still on screen. No, we're not. We're not on screen. Let's go this way. So I don't know if we can see it there. Sometimes I just hit those upper traps right there, just pin it down, don't even roll. And just run through some arm motions. Do the backstroke. Roll a little bit. Sometimes it's better without the shirt. I don't want to scar you though. Shirt can get bunched up too. Feeling this is the back of my skull, because that's where those muscles attach. So you might feel like a little bit of a headache going on. That's okay, we're digging into this. We could also try to get some motion here. So how you do that is lift the hips again, and I'm gonna actually flex. So I got a bunch of nice cracks there. So that loosened up all that joint tissue. Oh, you'll have some nice red streaks along your spine after doing this. Again, you're not doing a ton of this. Do a couple passes through. Get that ball. Starting right here, base of the neck, and I'm driving downwards. I'm lifting my hips over. Running over that, where that rounding tends to be. And the shoulders are a big problem there. They tend to turn in. Head does this. A lot of people aren't walking. You don't see people walking around like this until what? Till you're older. Why? Because they have ruined this. They got severe degeneration here. So they can no longer hide it by being here. You see a lot of them squeezing their glutes. They got tight asses for years, decades. This is not a slow process, this is decades. Squeezing those glutes, hips turned out. All of a sudden, bad discs, degenerative joint disease, what are they forced to do? Flexion. Now we got the old man posture. We're all hip flexor dominant. And I like to do this, show people. Try to move here. You'll realize how limited your hip mobility is. You ever wonder why they walk like that? Now their spine is forced to be stiff. What we're trying to almost do in strength training, foundation training, lock that lumbopelvic region. Arthritis has done that for them. The body, I say, will seek stability. It'll get it. It will achieve stability. But you don't want that kind of stability. You don't want arthritic stability. That's what the joints are trying to do. Same when you're in the upper thoracic region, they're locking down. To protect the nervous system. It's your lifeline. It'll do whatever the hell it has to. So pay attention to your body. Listen to it. It's smart. It's not dumb. It's not old. You've given injury time. That's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to lengthen, lock that spine, engage our hip flexors. The only difference is we're pulling that length out of the neck too at foundation training. That's the purpose of all these. We want to engage that. We don't want to have to go into the old man posture to get it though. Sometimes I do go there. I'll start people here. Get in that old man posture just so you can engage your core, your hip flexors. Then use the legs to press out of it. Now we're working against those upper traps. Because you'll notice we do in kettlebells, we're engaging, we're tightening that. We're not throwing the hips way forward, but we are locking that lumbopelvic region down to protect it. Because that hyperextension is very, very common. Commonly seen with the upper trap dominance. They're hanging out together. You can't have a distortion in one area of the spine without something else. And it probably didn't even start in the neck. Started in the hips. All right, so hopefully that felt wonderful. So now we'll come back to our kettlebells, grab some coffee.